Hey everyone, and welcome to another podcast movie review. Today's episode, we're talking about Joker Folie à Deux. That should have been the first. Folie à deux. That should have been the first sign that this movie was going to suck balls. That it was so pretentious it couldn't just call itself Joker 2. Nah, we're like really trendy and stuff, so it's Folie à Deux. Anyway, this movie sucked ass. Look, I went in with an open mind saying, all right, I know it's a musical for whatever reason. Don't know why. Doesn't make any sense to the story. After watching it now, I'm like, it definitely did not need to be the case. And it was only one of many bad things about this movie.
I thought it had all the ingredients to be absolutely amazing. It really did. The mixed feelings I have with it is the cinematography was amazing.
Yeah, the film looks great. It just, unfortunately, had nothing to say. It was the perfect example of a cash grab.
But this is so typical of the current and hopefully the ending of this movie era of where since 2020 it has gone to. It is trying to following a trend for the sake of getting money. Look at Wonka, look at Mean Girls. This is following the trend of doing musicals. I don't know whose decision it was to make it a musical, but production has the final say. Stupidest fucking decision you can make.
Especially that we're not giving the people what they want.
Then you have the other side of the theme that makes this movie so fucking amazing, which is it is the color, the light, the rhythm, the acting is fantastic. But you just see the division in the production of these kind of things because you see the greatness that sits behind it and where it's limited because of the production side of things, the financial money grabbing side of things. It's the death of creativity.
You are no different than any of those people that underestimated me.
And especially in a movie that has such potential such as this one.
How about you, Arthur?
I was so intrigued to see a different actress play Harley Quinn. I thought this was going to right the wrongs of Suicide Squad in that we were properly going to see the relationship of Harley Quinn and Joker develop and the romantic interest behind it and the complexity of their relationship. And that was just completely thrown away in this movie and completely wasted.
I gotta say, I thought Lady Gaga was excellent.
No. I'm not saying Lady Gaga wasn't good.
Just the character.
I'm saying the story of what they did with the characters.
Oh, yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix, the first shot where we saw him, the way the dude contorts his body, similar to the first Joker film, it's like some monster's trying to get out of his skin.
So
it's
misshaped.
fantastic. He's great. It's just the direction, the creative whole of what they're doing with these characters is fucking terrible. The musical idea, bad, not needed. And at one point, even Joker tells Harley Quinn, like, no, stop.
I don't want to sing anymore.
I don't want to sing anymore. Stop
Talk
singing.
to me.
And I was
me.
clapping in the cinema. I was like, fuck yes, tell her. No more singing, damn it.
The thing that made it worse is that every time they started singing, the entire orchestra came with it. It's just a conversation between two people with a fucking piece of glass in between, with a couple of holes in there, and that's the only time you hear. The point is that you can have the orchestra, but you're delivering two types of singing scenarios. One, it's on imagination, it's a fantasy. They just both disappear from reality and they create this fantasy world, right? Which is the justification for all the singing. But then you also have the second scenario where they're singing and they're in reality. And people are looking weird at them. It's like, why the fuck are they singing? And it's like, cool, awesome, beautiful, have them. Like, I love the people acting weird towards them singing because it is fucking weird. Don't have the orchestra. Don't have that fucking instruments that appear out of nowhere. If it's in their fantasy, sure, you can create, you got imagination. But if it's in reality, you don't have that. So don't have the fucking orchestra. It didn't make sense. I think that would have already made it a lot better.
But you were saying after when we watched this, you were like, oh, if you took the musicals out, it would be like a 10 out of 10 film.
I think
I was like, nah, I don't think so, man. The story of this is, let's take Joker to the courtroom and dissect all the cool shit that happened in the first movie and talk about it until there's no mystery left. This film was like an assassination of the first movie, pretty much. You liked that about the first film? Fucking kill it. Kill it right now. What? You had an interesting theory about, you know, the ambiguity of the first film? Nah, kill it. This is exactly how it was.
Here's a good analogy for you. Here's a funny joke. You like that one? Let me explain it to you.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Joker gets no opportunities in this film to actually be the villain that he became at the end of the first film.
Yeah.
From the end of the first film, a clear distinction, a clear decision was made. He has become the Joker. He is no longer Arthur Fleck.
How about you, Arthur? Do you still think you're a star?
But for some reason, Folie à Deux decides, let's just ignore that part. He doesn't know who he is yet, or he's conflicted about becoming the Joker, and it's like he doesn't have multiple personality disorder. He had already become the Joker. Why not just make a story that continues down that path of him being the full-fledged criminal kind of underworld boss that we know he is going to become? That was a completely fucking stupid decision made.
Let's break down a few aspects a little bit more. When it comes to cinematography, camera angles, the color grading, the lighting, all the kind of stuff, technical side of things, it's a 10 out of 10.
But what's the point if there's no message behind it?
No, I agree. And this is why I have such mixed feelings about this movie. I appreciate the immense amount of layers that these actors have. Brendan Gleeson, Lee Gill, and Joaquin Phoenix, if I haven't said his name already. For example, the first live interview with Arthur Fleck.
With Steve Coogan?
Yes. Did you see the lighting? The lighting came from above and it just over his eyebrows and just masked half his eyes. Half was in the shade and half was in the light. Those tiny little things. Oh, I just told so many things. But the reason I get so many mixed feelings about it is that how can it give me such a great feeling as if it's a masterpiece while the message is garbage, while the story arc is garbage, the payoff for the setup that it had, garbage, the musical aspect of it, terrible. But for some reason, the cinematography just created the illusion as if it's a amazing piece of work.
It is sad that the DOP will not get his proper dues because the film as a whole is just not up there. When I think of the first film, there's moments I go, oh, fuck, I love that scene. I love this scene. I love that quote. I love that moment. I don't have any of that with this. To the point where I was so out of it, I was literally dozing off. And then Addie tapped me wake up. Something happened. Something happened. It was near the end of the movie and I saw it. And I felt nothing. This pivotal moment happened that I should feel something. It happened, and I just went, I don't care.
Yeah, it was not impactful whatsoever.
And then that decision meant nothing in the grand scheme of things anyway, because the character ended up back where we started anyway. They really let him down. They let the Joker character down as a whole.
Well, he's not.
Like, not as bad, but it reminded me of The Matrix 4 in that it felt like someone creatively is self-sabotaging this movie. Because how can you make decisions this stupid unless you purposely want to assassinate the character or the world? Warner Brothers probably wanted the sequel. Todd Phillips was like, we don't need a sequel. Joker was great as a one-off. And then at one point, he changes his mind and says, all right, you want a sequel? I'll give you a sequel. And it's going to be so shit, you'll never fucking bother me again to make a sequel. I don't know. Creative people are weird sometimes.
I'm still so confused by what I should feel about this movie. It's so confusing. I'm just so confused. So, 1 to 5. Sorry. From a 0 to 5 stars, how many would you give it?
Folie à Deux gets 2 hot 2s out of 5 from me. This reaffirmed to me why I hate sequels. I didn't want to believe the reviews. I was hoping that this was similar to the original Joker. in that all the reviews come back negative. You go see it and you're like blown away, like, wow, this is so different to everything else that's going on in the movie landscape, especially in the world of DC, where you have an actually good film that was well told, took chances with its lore, but respected the character. All of that was completely lost with this sequel. What was your final rating?
And I would give it a 1 out of 5 for the message of the story, but I would give it a fucking 10 out of 5 for cinematography. I just can't get over it. I could just see so many little details that they really thought through that are just so impactful. It's like, oh, the story is so fucking clear and it's so good. Only if there was more of a story. I think I'll average it out and I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. I'm just so confused, man. I'm just so fucking confused.
I feel that there was only one scene in this movie where I said to myself, there is some heart in Soul. This is what I wanted more of. There's a scene with Lee Gill, who reprises his role from the first Joker, and it was phenomenal, man. He was fucking awesome.
Also, don't do this to yourself. It isn't you.
He's got some great moments, and the story is actually allowing him and Joker to have some moments where I'm feeling some emotions, where something has carried over from the first film. It was only like 2 or 3 minutes, unfortunately, but it was more saddening to see that and be like, oh, there was potential for this. Why is this not there? You had it and you fucked it. You fucked all of us over.
Puddles was really good.
Yeah, Puddles was fucking amazing. Anyway, that's us, guys. Unfortunately, who would have thought a bad superhero movie, right?
Wow, the sarcasm is great.
I mean, now that I think about it, I'm like, what a dickhead I am. Like, a superhero movie that's also a sequel. Why would this fail? And it's Warner Brothers.
I wish the signs were there.
How did I have any expectations? All right, that's us, guys. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a comment below. Let us know your thoughts on Joker 2. And like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this.